Okay, thank the grace of heaven and the virtues of the masters for, to talk about. Today it's supposed to be Lao Sư de Hua, I guess, Holy Teacher's Guidance Teachings. So I happen to find this one, scripture. Yeah. Yeah, it is Holy Teachers. This, I guess, was from, well, this was right after Taiwan had the big earthquake in 921. I don't know what year that was, but... Okay. But anyways, so basically, he asks everyone if they're, is having hardships or is it, they're in the Dharma class. They're in the Dharma class. Okay. So is everyone, is it at peace, right? Okay. Okay. So when we come to the temple, right, we're at peace. But when we're in the middle of the Tao, then, we are, that's like being in heaven, okay? Right, so there's no calamities happening, right? So we should always be grateful, right? We should be grateful, we should pray, and basically, so he's telling them to close their eyes for a minute and to let go of everything and just pray for a little bit. So we pray, we let go of all affinities, right? Let go of kind of calm our heart and mind, right? Don't even think about anything good or bad. So just use a very calm and still, heart, okay, a mind, right? And then so when our heart and mind is still, then we're connected with the Buddhas, because only in that state of stillness, right, is the Buddhas. They're also in that state. So it's like you have, it's like if you want to pick up some frequency, right, radio waves or television signals, right, it's got to be at the right frequency. The same has to match. So they're at that kind of state. So we also have to have that same state of mind. Okay. So here we see that basically everything that we see, this whole world, all the material things, all the forms are, you can say they're false, okay, because they're not permanent, they're constantly changing, so that's why you have calamities, right, things, earthquakes. Recently there are a lot of earthquakes in Asia, so, the buildings, they can come down, people lose their lives, all that. So that's something that we have to realize, that, life is unpredictable, okay, in this sense. Right, so, and from the Buddha's point of view, of course, life is very short. It's like the morning dew, is what he describes that. So, it'll evaporate very quickly. But that's from a point of view of eternity, right? From the Buddha nature, from the Buddha's point of view, it's timeless. But for us, we think it's a long time, but it's not, right? So we need to basically seize the moment, okay? So every moment is precious for us in this life. Let our life be, have meaning, be meaningful, have a meaningful life, right? And be very, be realistic. Sometimes we have dreams, we have all sorts of dreams that may not be very practical or realistic, but we should try to be more realistic, okay? And so use our life, right? Let's see, right? Our life to not just for ourselves. We don't live our life just for ourselves, right? In other words, we shouldn't be kind of selfish, live our own just for ourselves or even just our family, right? We should definitely spread our lives a little bit of what he says, kind of sprinkle our lives to all around. So to help be a benefit to other sentient beings, all other people, even animals, all living beings. Okay, so that's what we should do, and help others more, and don't be afraid of hardships. Okay, don't be afraid of being exhausted in when we're helping others and doing things for others. Okay, and we should also not not get into arguments and conflicts, okay? Because we're all brothers and sisters, right? We're all brothers and sisters. Okay, so, basically we link our hearts and minds together and, hand in hand together, we can create a better world, transform this world into what we always talk about, the world of paradise or harmony, okay, world of peace. Okay, so we wish that we have our compassion, right, and use our good or kind thoughts and intentions, right, to move heaven, to touch and move heaven, right? So again, this, are sincere. If we are sincere, and we can have that right, like you can say, attitude or intention to want to help others, right? And as long as we're sincere, we can probably move heaven, touch heaven, move heaven, all right? So all the Buddhas and saints, we can move them, and then in that sense, then maybe they can help us, right? And then plus, when we do that, then so then we create harmony, all right, and joy, and basically create heaven on earth, okay? But basically it has to follow, we have to do things kind of, it's a step-by-step process. It's not like we take one step, one giant leap, and we can get there all at once. So, it's a gradual process. We have to go through that process, right? Just like if we want to attain Buddhahood, it's not like instant like that. I mean, it takes time, and we have to put in the effort, okay? So we have to, cultivate ourselves, cultivate our heart and mind, right? Make sure it's proper, it's upright, and get rid of all our biases, prejudices, things like that. Learn from, all the saints and sages, right? Let's see. Yeah, learn their spirit of cultivation, okay? So learn from their spirit of cultivation, right? They've made great sacrifices, and they never gave up. They have that strong faith, right? That faith is very important, especially if we know that this is true, the Tao is true, that, what we're trying to strive for is true, then we should never give up on that, all right? No matter what, no matter how difficult, okay? But, use our kind heart, our compassionate heart, mind, right, to basically, to guide us, right, in our lives, right? Okay, so all of us, right, we're here in this world, we have a mission. I guess you say mission, right? So even though, right, life or birth and death, right, it's life is difficult, there's suffering, right? But we have to make it worthwhile, right? So, given that we're in this world, there's no getting around, suffering. We should make it worthwhile, make it meaningful, right? That we don't suffer just, kind of waste our life that way. Don't kind of go through life kind of confused and not knowing what we're going to do here or where we're going, okay? All right. So let's see. So don't let our emotions, our desires take control of our lives, okay? Because then it causes us a lot of vexations, worries, all that stuff, okay? So we need to basically return back to our original pure self, our true nature, okay? So then that is really truly free from all these worries and all that. Okay, so we can really be, you can say, then be happy, okay, and be in joy, all right? Okay, but then when the calamities come, right, so what happens, right? We don't need to be afraid, right? Shouldn't be afraid, because in our heart and mind is the Buddha. The Buddha is inside of us. It's not out there like people who they're praying to the Buddhas for help. It's actually later on it says the Buddhas. There's no need for Buddhas to help you. You help yourself, right? So basically, the Buddha is within us. We have to realize that. Once we realize that, then we can help ourselves. Okay, so he's saying that don't be afraid because the Buddha is within us. Okay, so basically. What he says here, Fasen, what is it? The truth body. Okay, that's one of the three bodies we have. Is the truth body. The truth body is essentially like our Buddha nature. So that can never be harmed. Okay, just like you heard this morning, that cannot be harmed. The truth body, right? That's our Buddha nature. It doesn't matter what happens. Okay, it's only our physical body. Yes, that can be harmed, right, and damaged. But eventually, our physical body is going to, deteriorate. So, but for most people, the common person, they just see the physical body, and that's what they are worried about, taking care of that. Of course, we need to take care of it, be healthy and all that, and so that we can do what we need to do. Okay, but okay, so let's see. All right. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. People also think that maybe they can, man is the greatest, right? Man can conquer nature, but we can see that, man cannot do anything about it when like the earthquake comes or the tsunami comes, right? We can build higher walls or whatever, build stronger buildings, but there's always a bigger tsunami or earthquake that's going to bring it down, right? So there's no way that man, is that great. Okay, he's not greater than nature. Okay, so we, that puts things in perspective, right? Okay, so we have to know what's, be clear about what's true and what's not true, okay, or what's real and what's not real. Okay, so we don't want to use these physical eyes to see the truth, to see things. Okay, we want to use that inner eye, that wisdom eye. Okay, all right. So this is to basically because these eyes, right? These eyes look out at things, at the world around us, all the phenomenon, all the forms, but that our true eye, our Buddha eye, if you will, or our wisdom eye, can look inward. Okay, we can see our own Buddha nature, see our own Buddha. Okay, but we need to use that to reflect on ourselves. All right, reflect on ourselves. All right, and see, he's saying that Buddha teacher's saying, yeah, we constantly, blaming other people, right? Because these eyes see that, right? We blame other people, but we never reflect and criticize or, kind of reflect on ourselves and take, maybe blame ourselves. So that's why there's no peace in this world, right? Let's see. Okay, so not only did we make it difficult for others, right? Basically, we inevitably will have difficulties ourselves, right? So, Holy Teacher, wishes that we can develop our wisdom, use our wisdom, right? To see things clearly. Don't get lost. Don't lose our direction, right? In this life, right? This basically. This life is, it's, I guess from our point of view, it's pretty long. Okay, so, and it's definitely going to be difficult. There are going to be difficult times ahead. Okay, so, this life, let me see. All right. Okay, so basically, you have to face those difficulties ahead. We have to have that courage. Okay, we have to have that courage to face it. Right, great courage. Okay, so yeah, if we're kind of weak, right? If we're weak, we don't have that will, right, or that faith to carry us forward. Then the any little thing that happens, will cause us to then give up. Right, and we backslide. All right, so we don't want to do that. Okay, so then if that happens, if we're weak like that, then if we don't have that will or faith, then we cannot become or be the angels of this white era. Right. Okay. Okay, so we are basically, as well, not just as human beings, but as cultivators in the Tao, we, he's saying that we have great stature, right? And so basically, we are, you can say, kind of leaders of others. But we need to basically be dignified, right? And when we do things, we need to be very, I guess, above board, clear in what we do, okay? And so, and also not based on like our emotions, right? Sometimes we feel like doing it when we're happy. If we're not happy, then we don't want to do it. So we should always, no matter what, we do what we need to do. Okay. All right. So it looks like maybe cultivating is kind of like you might think it's boring or it's plain. It's not very interesting. But what teacher is saying is that in order to basically when the thing is tasteless, right? Inside of that, we can really get its true taste from something that's tasteless. Okay. Okay. So he's wishing that we can let go of we can let go of basically. I mean, you can say this the physical, the material things. Okay. So listen to what teacher has to say. All right. Okay. So teacher asks, is life? Is it easy to pass through? I guess go through life. People say no. And so so is this journey of life is kind of difficult, right? So basically in this, but there's also basically these, the spirit world that we don't see, right? That we don't see. There are always these spirits around us, our Buddhas, saints, okay, and they're always helping us, okay. So don't think it's that you're taking this path alone through life. There's always Buddhas and saints, and all around us, okay. As long as we're going in the right direction, right? Our heart and mind is proper, it's upright, it's thinking right thoughts, going in the right direction. Then they're going to be around us, helping us. Okay. Okay. So he's saying that if there weren't these Buddhas and saints around helping us, then we would not be here today. Essentially, we would not have grown up this far. Okay, come this far. All right. So basically, but he's saying okay. So he's saying that the Buddha is like that. It's like that, that newborn baby. Okay, very pure, innocent. Okay. So after we grow up, though, what happens? Because of the external forms, the environment, right? They kind of, entice us, tempt us, right? And then so we lose that innocence, lose that purity, right, that we had of that newborn child. Okay. So that's gone. And then so, we see beautiful things, and then that causes us to, our heart and mind moves. Okay, it's touched by that. Okay, and then so we start thinking, the 5 skandhas, all that stuff, right? So we see good things, we want to eat it, things like that, right? Things that are good smelling, we want to smell it, all those things, right? So basically. But okay, so what happens then is that all our desires, all these kind of, you can say, desires, emotions, attachments, they cover up that Buddha nature. Okay, is that original, that pure, innocent Buddha nature is inside, but it's kind of bottled up, and we're not letting it come out. Okay, so it's the same thing. So we can't get that wisdom either, right? So because it's always our conscious mind. Our attachments, desires, that's in control, right? Our senses, essentially, are in control. And so our Buddha nature can't reveal itself, right? So that's important to understand. That's why we need to learn to let go of attachments and desires, right? Okay, so So, but everyone, everyone has this this Buddha nature. Okay, all living beings have this Buddha nature, right? And it's never, it doesn't increase, it doesn't decrease. Okay, but okay, so. But we've covered it up. Okay, so I just talked about that. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. So, but because of that, so that's why we kind of create. You can say attachments, yeah, things like that, right? Yeah, originally our true nature is there's no distinction between you and me or anyone. There's no distinction, right? So a newborn baby, they don't know the difference between anyone else, right? They feel like they're just, I don't know, together with them, right? So that's really the true nature, the Buddha nature is, there is only one, right? It's not like yours and mine. It's only one, right? That's why the Buddhas always treat everyone equally, as if everyone is them, okay? I am you, you are me, you are me, okay? Okay, so yeah, that's what he's saying here. We're all one, right? So we all come from basically God or Lao Mu, right? Has given us this nature, this true nature, right? For us, given us this life, okay? But our parents have given us only given us this body, physical body, right? Okay, but the parents does not give us, you can say our soul, our Buddha nature, okay? All right. So now, but we have, right? So, oops, wait, is this? Oh, it's missing something here. Okay. All right. So some people, right? So you have a newborn that's what do you call it? Stillbirth, right? They're dead essentially, dead on arrival. I mean, they're dead. So, but it doesn't matter. Everyone has their own karma, and so whether they die at birth or later on in life, it depends on their karma. Okay. This karma, this reincarnation, it just keeps going. All right, so why are we even born in this world? Is because you can say it's because of karma. You can say more generally it's because of cause and effect. Okay, so even Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're in this world because of cause and effect. Okay, not necessarily because of karma in this world that they created, but they made a vow, right? If they made a vow, that's the cause. So with that cause, then they're going to be born in this world. Okay, so it's the same thing, same principle. But so everything is based on that, right? So only teacher asks if we believe in reincarnation, yes, or karma, and basically, do we believe are there? Basically, I guess you can saints, spirits, all that, right? People believe in that. Everything is within our heart and mind. So what right? So what we believe, if we believe it, it's up to us, right? It's all in our heart and mind. Okay. So basically, we have, like you're saying, in our heart mind, we have like a measure. Okay. That if we do like good or kind deeds, good deeds. Okay. Then we can be at peace in mind, we have a clear conscience, okay? But if we do bad things, right, things we shouldn't do, then even though, even though we might, deceive others, right, for a little while, we might do that for a little while, but eventually it's going to catch up to us, okay? So whether, it's the law, maybe committed a crime and get away from the law, but eventually it's going to catch up to us, whether it's this law or it's going to be karma that's going to catch up to us, okay? So we can't get away from that, right? Eventually we'll have to pay for it. All right, so if we don't cultivate, so even if after that we've done something and then karma catches up and we still don't cultivate, then how can we, and we don't, become awakened, right, awakened, and we don't reflect on ourselves, then there's no there's essentially saying no hope to being saved. Okay, so we really need to reflect on ourselves, recognize our faults, our wrongs, correct them. Okay, all right. Okay, so then that would be, if we don't turn around and recognize that and start cultivating, then that would be a pity. Okay, so some people they say, oh, they're aware, right, and or they might be confused or lost, right. That's because basically in their heart and mind, right, they don't have that, you can say, the faith or conviction, okay, right, and so they don't have that true sincerity, that they haven't expressed that true sincerity, all right. So they don't have that will, essentially, that resolve to let's say to cultivate or to move forward, progress. Okay. So it's just like when we receive the Tao, right? It's all introducer brings us to receive the Tao, and then we become more. Then we develop some. We have some faith or conviction or confidence, I guess. Then we kind of develop, be more inspired, right, and motivated. Okay, so well, here, I mean, he's addressing these class members in the Dharma class. So he's saying, they've been sitting there for one day, right? He's saying that, yeah, so you probably have that sincerity, right, since you're here. But then he's saying that there's another day tomorrow. Okay, so during the Dharma class, it's to let you, let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, I'm saying don't look down or belittle this or underestimate the significance of this Dharma class. Okay, it's earth shaking. Okay, it shakes heaven and earth. Okay, because our ancestors are all are in the back, right? So the teacher's telling the class member, your ancestors are all in the back. They're kneeling out in the back, and they're also listening. Okay, so basically, because we are here, that they get to benefit. All right. Okay. So in the past, in the ancient past, when the cultivators, right, you can say the saints, sages, cultivators, and also those who have virtue, okay, they all do good deeds, right? They do good deeds. So because of that, right, the accumulation of, you can say, this merit, okay, performing merit, then basically many generations of their ancestors, right, and also even the future generations, right, descendants, they all stand to benefit from that. Okay, so if you look at like Confucius, right, Confucius, I mean, he's not rich and famous, like today you have many rich and famous people, but 72 generations later, people still respect and honor his descendants. Okay, so that's what that's how they benefit, right? So we should not look think that we are insignificant, right? We're not. Okay, so so one person, each one of us, can influence or affect so many people, right? Yeah, thousands of ancestors and potential descendants, right? So, all right. So basically, what teacher says a lot. He says, okay, so when calamities come, right? When the calamities are here, then let me see, what is it? Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. They come to right, to affect us. But we aren't aware of it. Okay, we aren't aware of it, right? So basically, a lot of times the Buddhas they give us warnings, or that things are going to happen, but they don't say it very explicitly, right? They always it's kind of hinting at something, and even though from their view they can see things that they can see it's imminent, something bad is going to happen, but they can't really reveal it because that's a heaven secret, right? So they can only hint at things. But if we don't listen, if we're not aware, right, then unfortunately we're gonna meet up with that calamity, right? Okay, so it says, even though you might be cultivating, right, but if you aren't constantly on guard, right, being on guard, be aware. So sometimes then, if we don't keep that Tao with us all the time, okay. So the Tao is really supposed to be, it's part of us, okay? It is in us, okay? So when we come to the temple, right, it's only to let us recharge our energy or spirit, right? But cultivation is in daily life. Actually, it's not really just in the temple. Okay, it's all the time, right? So as long as we have that, basically, we have to learn, the spirit of the Buddhas and saints, learn basically to let us to repent. Okay, repent for things that we've done wrong, that we can correct and improve ourselves. Okay, and to let us to improve, to have a new start. Okay, so that's what coming to the temple is. That's why we come here, to learn and to renew ourselves. Okay, but everyday life is where we really cultivate. Okay, so so basically, the saints, right? They have no, you can say they have no faults or no like illnesses, things like that. Well, I don't want to say illness, but faults. But common people have a lot of faults, right? And so what he's saying, what kind of these faults? Well, I mean, he used the word bing, which is kind of like, is also illness, but he said piety bing. Okay, so you can say our faults, our bad habits, our bad temper. Okay, okay, so we all have those, right? So have we gotten rid of them, right? So basically what we need to do is, but there's a saying, right? It says, it's easier to change the rivers and mountains than to change one's nature, one's character, right? So humans, right, we're all stuck, we have our own, that character that we think, oh, this is human nature, this is the way it is, right? I can't change that. I mean, it's easier to change like the mountains and all that, but so that's why it's difficult. But we do need to change. All right, to get rid of our bad temper, or correct our faults, right? Or get rid of our bad habits. Okay, so we don't, we should not be, you can say, defiled by the things that are bad, right? Don't follow the bad, or develop any bad habits. Okay, don't develop any bad habits, right? Because once it becomes a habit, then it's difficult. Okay, it's hard to break that, right? So, okay. Okay, so because you could say we're mature, we're like, well, I don't know, adults, but we've grown up, then we should learn to be like, a mature person, that we need to learn the Tao, okay? Basically, be a role, as a cultivator, we need to be like a role model, okay, for others, because the common people, they don't know how to cultivate, so we have to be that role model for them. Unfortunately, they're looking at all the wrong role models, okay, for looking for fame, wealth, and all that stuff, okay, but that's not what we want, okay. So so it's like our, I guess the younger generation, right? The younger generation, how they are, it really depends on us teaching them properly. So like as for parents anyways, their children, they need to teach them well. I mean, because if the children are not good, then the blame is not on the children. The blame is really on the parents for not teaching them, bringing them up properly, okay? So that's basically what he's saying here, right? We also need to learn to be like, the happy Buddha, right? Being very tolerant and forgiving, okay? Because if we can do that, then, there would be everyone would be happy, right? There would be no conflict, no arguments, none of that, right? So this, to cultivate, yeah, you might say there's some hardships, okay, maybe sacrifices, you're giving up some stuff, maybe, but it's something that we really need to do, okay, endure that. So if we can do that, then what happens? Then the calamities will not come to us, okay, so we will not be caught up in those calamities. Right, so yeah, as long as we're willing to endure a little bit of hardship, a little bit of difficulties in cultivation, then we will not. So he's saying, okay, so here he says, look at Yan Hui, right, one of Confucius' disciples, right. Basically, he lives in poverty, very poor, yet he's very content, very happy. Okay, so we need to kind of learn to be kind of like that. I mean, we tend to spend a lot of time worrying about, oh, I want this, I want that, taking care of my things, all that stuff. And are we really happy though? Okay, not really. All right. So basically, people tend to look after more the physical things, the forms, material things, right? But what teacher is saying is that actually, to take care of our body, the material body, it's actually pretty easy, right? We don't need to overdo it, right? If we're thirsty, we drink. We're hungry, we eat, right? But we don't want to overdo it, right? Don't go lavish. Don't get too extravagant, right? So again, the zongyong, the middle way, right? When we do things, so we don't want to, what's the word? We don't want to. What?
Sort of the extremes.
Well, yeah, no, be spoiled, right? Don't want to spoil ourselves. Okay. Okay. So basically, the little, you can say the difficulties, the hardships, those are like maybe little calamities, okay, that we encounter. We can encounter big ones too, but those things are really there to kind of test us, okay, so make sure that we can pass, all right, but okay, let's see. Okay, so to basically a reminder, they're kind of reminders too, to let us, okay, so something just happened, I need to be grateful, to remind ourselves to be grateful and to be able to then want to do other good things, right? To good deeds, to perform merit, to help others, be of benefit to others, right? So not just be selfish. So if we're continuously being selfish, then these calamities are just going to keep coming at us, right? And probably get worse. Okay, so we want to transform this world to be a better place, right? Let's see. Okay, right. Yeah, so as long as we're doing what we should be doing the right things, not being selfish, being of help to others, then heaven will be with us. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So okay. So yeah, we shouldn't be greedy. Okay. Shouldn't be. Obviously. Yeah, so if we, so some cases you see, people because of greed, right? They defraud a whole bunch of, it's like investors or whoever, right? But who, they suffer, they get caught, they suffer, and also the later generations, their children, descendants, they live in shame, right? So that's something that we shouldn't do. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we've received the Tao, right? So we should understand the Tao a bit. Then we should also definitely also talking about filial piety, right? We need to be filial. So learn the to be like the Buddhas and saints, right? Okay, and then to also to be filial to our parents. Okay. And then he's talking about being, I guess, vegetarian or vegan. Okay. He's saying that it's not just what we eat. Okay, so it's not just what we eat. It's really our heart and mind. Okay, you can say our mental attitude, right? In our heart and mind, it has to be, I guess to use the word vegan. Then that's only then is it of use. Okay, when we see the sentient beings, right? We feel pity on them, right? It's like the animals, right, and being raised for food, right? We see that, wow, so it's they have a really horrible life, right? We want to save them, right? But then it's kind of too late, because we're if we're eating them, right? How can we save them, right? So this attitude of we have to, if we know that it's we feel pity, then if we don't act on that, then it's meaningless, right? So that's why we know that the suffering, we want to end that suffering, then we have to stop eating the meat. Okay. Okay. So here. Okay. So basically, yeah. So we have to act on it. Okay. Yeah. So teacher's saying that it's basically. Things are, time is urgent. Things are urgent. Okay, so we can't delay, right? We need to let go of all karmic affinities, right? And break off this cycle of creating karma. Okay, right? Because otherwise, we're going to be still caught up in this reincarnation, right? I don't know when are we supposed to stop? 2:30. Fine. Oh. 25. Oh, okay. Just all right. So I can't finish this. This is very long. But all right. So today, basically, I guess teacher had composed a scripture that said "Pingxing." I guess you could say, peace of mind, or peace in the heart and mind. Okay. And so basically, we need to be harmonious and calm. In order to basically saying that when something some situation or some matter, some affair comes up, and then we have to do it, right? So then we do it. Okay, but then once it's done, we let it go. Okay, we let it go. All right. So it's just like when you step in front of a mirror, you see it. Okay, that you're doing something, and you step away. It's no longer in the mirror. So then we just let it go. All right. So once it's done, we just let things go. All right. Okay. So basically, but also when there are like emergencies, right? Things happen. We don't want to wait until there's an emergency to try to do something. Then it's kind of too late. So basically what teacher's saying is that if we want to accumulate merits, right, it's because a lot of people, right, they receive it out a lot of times. Sometimes it's because there's something, they have an emergency, so there's some crisis happening, right? So they're asking for help, right? So they're trying to get it that way. But usually that's not a good time. That's already too late. So we need to, but now that we've already received the Tao, right, we know that, so we need to constantly always be on guard, and therefore we also need to put in our effort to accumulate those merits, develop our virtues, so that these emergencies, when they do come, it won't be too late. Okay, so we need to accumulate that, and so actually, when we do accumulate the merits and our virtues, then it will actually probably eliminate or reduce some of those calamities that were going to come because of our karma, right? We've already paid off those debts. So that's very important that we keep that in mind, that we don't wait. So that's why we should not just wait. I'm young. I have all the time in the world before I need to do anything. That's not true. Okay, so that's an important message there. Okay. Okay, so. I think it's pretty much time. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I guess we'll probably just stop here for now. There's too much here. Okay, so all right. sorry. I hope if I had said anything wrong, I ask God and the Buddhas for forgiveness and ask for corrections. All right, thank you.